children, and he writes his testament and addresses his words himself unto his son and children, and to all those that gathered around him. The blessings of the patriarch will be on those who came after us, even those who listen to these words. These words are instruction in the medicines of life, so that recent may be with all those who believe. This is the end of obedience, as we have heard it read of the Bible, which means that a man should strive patiently with what he hears.
I don't know what's going on, but I can hear you through your mute. So I don't know what's going on.
Everybody is muted, but we can still hear everyone.
Okay. Okay, yeah. I don't know what's going on, but you can hear the noise in the background. Okay, so it's we'll be dealing with the book of Zechariah, reading out of that. Okay. Go to our YouTube channel, The Prophets of Awakening, and check out our videos. We have a lot of videos that you can listen to and get information from and get a sound foundation. Okay, I'm asking you to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And for those that appreciate the channel, I'm asking you to support the channel. You can go to our cash app at the bottom screen. Okay, this is the John Mason channel. With the non-Messianic channel, we deal with the Tanak and the Torah. Okay, Tanak being the Old Testament, and the Torah being the first 5 books of the Old Testament, given to Moses by the Lord of Hosts. Shalom and welcome to the channel, and welcome to our reading through the Tanakh. Okay, we do our moment of silence, prayer, songs, we do the current events, and need to know information. Then we open for some Q&A. Then we go into our topic. We'll be reading out of the book of Zechariah. Okay. Yeah, so like I was saying before, you can hear in the background, so I don't know what's going on. You can hear everything in everybody's background. Yeah. Okay. This moment of silence is for the Lord of Hosts and all that He's doing to bring about our prophesied deliverance in His last days. Oh Lord, righteousness and uprightness belong upon thee. Therefore we come before you at this hour, seeking that face and looking for righteousness and uprightness, that we may walk before thee as our servant David and Solomon and Samuel and Hezekiah did. So we have to walk after thee, O Lord, and keep your commandments and your testimony and your statutes with all our heart and soul, to perform the words of the covenant that was written down by your prophets. O Lord, allow thy face to shine upon our people and hear our plea. Hear and do, O Lord, and hide not thy face from us, for we need you so very much. Peace be unto you. Okay, I'll see if I can't do something about this. Let me get
Are you still hearing us?
Yep.
Oh, okay. I'm going to go out.
Okay. Okay, so y'all read the Psalms right quick. Okay, I'll read Psalms 77. Who is so great a God as our God? Okay, it's a Psalm of Asaph. I cried unto God with my voice, even unto God with my voice, and he gave ear unto me in the day of my trouble. I sought the Lord. My soul ran in the night and ceased not. My soul refused to be comforted. I remembered God and was troubled. I complained, and my spirit was overwhelmed. Thou holdest mine eyes waking. I am so troubled that I cannot speak. I have considered the days of old, the years of ancient times. I called to remember my song in the night. I communed with my own heart, and my spirit made diligent search. Will the Lord cast off forever, and will he be favorable? No more, no more. His mercy, is his mercy clean gone forever? Does his prayer or promise fail forevermore? Have God forgotten to be gracious? Have he in his anger shut up his tender mercy? Selah. And I said, this is my infirmity, but I remembered the years of the right hand of the Most High. I will remember the works of the Lord. Surely I will remember thy wonders of old. I will meditate also of all thy works and talk of thy doings. The way of God is in the sanctuary. Who is so great a God as our God? Thou art the God that doeth wonders. Thou hast declared thy strength among the people. Thou hast with thine arm redeemed thy people, the sons of Jacob and Joseph. Selah. The waters saw thee, O God, and the waters saw thee. They were afraid. The depths also were troubled. The clouds poured out water. The sky sent out a sound. Thine arrows also went abroad. The voice of thy thunder was in the heavens. The lightning lightened the world, and the earth trembled and shook. Thy way is in the sea, and thy path is in the great waters, and thy footsteps are not known. Thou leadest thy people like a flock by the hand of Moses and Aaron. Okay, so that was Psalm 77. Anybody have any comments on that? Okay, so if anybody have any comments on that, we go to our we go to our we go to our current event.
The chainsaw chain sharpening jig will make your chainsaw. Hello there. The UK media and the establishment definitely do not want you to know about this. The EU farmers' protest actions are growing, and they know the true stakes. But while the EU farmers are protesting, who's growing and supplying their food? Just like any strike or other continent-wide event, this will affect our supply chains. In this case, our UK food supply chains. So where's the UK mainstream media on this? No, all we're being told is that new Brexit regulations that came into force at the beginning of the month will add to the cost of our food. And I bet that is where the blame for any food shortages in the UK that these EU farmer protests cause is laid. Yes, at the feet of Brexit. But don't admit the blame lies with the globalist policies that the EU is forcing on member states. But as the farmers say, no farmers, no food. So I ask again, who is producing the food for the EU and for the EU to export to the UK if they are currently blockading Paris and Brussels? All those tractors that should be employed in farms are right now blockading roads, ports and cities, as well as now the Eurocrat HQ in Brussels, and it's getting worse. Police estimated that around 1,000 tractors blocked traffic in Brussels on Thursday as EU leaders met for a summit and farmers continued to protest in several EU countries, reports Euractiv.com. And yesterday, farmers were putting up blockades outside supermarkets and pumping slurry into them. These farmers mean business. They know that the EU politicians, like just about all Western government politicians, are doing all they can to permanently damage agriculture. In fact, destroying the farmers, supported by the truckers and the taxi drivers, started to interrupt EU food exports. And here's a Dutch farmer having a go at the political.
Okay, so you see right here because of these we was talking about it yesterday, how Europe is kind of falling apart at the seams, and everybody's turned in against each other. Okay, let me see if I can fix this problem before we go forward.
Markel, can you hear me?
I can hear you. All praise. I can hear you.
Hi. And I'm muted. That's crazy. This is the reason why I'm always muted. I've always got this noise in my background.
Okay, well, I can hear you.
Okay, so I might have to just go on the YouTube side.
Yeah, because I hear what's going on. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I'm gonna go to the YouTube side.
All right, bounce out and come back. We need you around here, Gladys. Come on.
Okay, so with that being said, we go to we got another current event. I don't know what's going on. I have to figure it out after this class.
Hello and welcome back to the channel. I thought this was an interesting topic to cover concerning the fact that a lot of churches and religious institutions have been left out of the construction boom. Houses of worship have been left out of the construction boom. When you listen at some of the reasons why, you'll say, okay, well, there are a number of variables being mentioned here, but I see it as something a little different. Of course, they mention millennials and, thoughts are changing. People are having fewer children and just a number of different things. But what I see that people are getting their eyes open and they are starting to see these churches and so-called places of worship for what they are. Money grubbing, money grabbing. Okay. People have gotten their eyes open. And they are starting to see these people for who they are. That they don't really truly serve the Most High, our Creator. They don't truly love Him. They don't truly love the people. But they are there because they need a new jet and they need a new mansion. Some of these big bishops and pastors have several jets and several mansions, right? I mean, one guy, I believe it was Jesse Duplantis, was recently marked as saying that the reason why Jesus Christ hasn't come back yet is because people aren't giving enough money. I said, these people are out of they crazy. They are out of their minds, out of their minds. And you have people who will sit there and fall for that. So Jesus Christ hasn't come back, or he's delaying his coming because people aren't giving enough. Okay, so anyway, to me, that is why you see this drop in the construction of new places of worship. I want to take this time to thank the viewer who sent this to me. Thank you very much. This is a story that is definitely of interest to me. Okay, they don't need to build any more of these buildings. They just don't. There's enough of them. Like the thing that I'm gonna let you listen to, they're gonna actually explain how there are so many vacant church buildings out here. I can think of a number of things they can do with these vacant churches. There's a guy in Portland, Oregon, I think. He bought an apartment building that was run down a few decades ago, and he fixed it up, got the asphalt parking lot out of there, and he has a permaculture community where the people who live in the apartment building with him, they all man that garden together. So that is, to me, a better use of the church than these hell dens that they've become. Anyway, I'm going to let you take a listen at what is being said about the reasons why there is a drop in the construction of these places of worship. After you take a listen to that, I will be right back.
Construction spending in the U.S. has risen steadily since the financial crisis, and as of June sat at a near-record annualized rate of $1.55 trillion. Delving into the data, the dollars spent in most categories of construction grew along with the overall economic expansion. The intrigue, one segment bucks the trend most noticeably. Construction of religious facilities has fallen sharply over the past 2 decades. Why it matters: construction spending provides insights into the economic growth of the U.S. and about what Americans are investing in. Similar to how the decline of brick-and-mortar retail stores doesn't necessarily reflect an outright decline in shopping, the way people worship is also evolving. By the numbers, construction spending on religious facilities touched a record low annualized rate of $3 billion in June. This is a 66% decline from its $8.8 billion record high in August 2003, according to census data. Meanwhile, construction spending on amusement and recreation facilities surged 42% from $7.7 billion in August 2003 to $10.9 billion as of June. Educational buildings, office space, and sewage and waste facilities are among the categories with rising spend in recent years. Details: religious facilities in the dataset include houses of worship such as churches, mosques, synagogues, and temples. They do not include certain buildings owned by religious organizations like college facilities and hospitals. Between the lines, according to Gallup, just 47% of U.S. adults said they were a member of a church, synagogue, or mosque in 2020. This was the first time ever this group wasn't the majority. Yes, but Rev. David Schoen, a minister for the United Church of Christ Church Building and Loan Fund, follows church closures closely and tells Axios that the decline in construction doesn't tell the whole story. Schoen notes that worshipers are engaging in other ways, like through online portals. They're also meeting in schools and warehouses. There's a number of churches on the market that can be bought, Schoen adds. So there's not a whole lot of new construction. What to watch? Millennials have been a little later in terms of partnering and having children and moving to the suburbs, Kermit Baker, chief economist for the American Institute of Architects, tells Axios. I think all that sort of feeds into the decision to get affiliated with a religious organization. Baker doesn't think trends will reverse as millennials get older, but says maybe they begin to stabilize. The bottom line, religious construction is a small part of the overall picture. But category trends provide insight into why aggregate measures of data are going up or down.
Okay, so for me, it all comes down to supply and demand. Of course, they can give you all the statistics and the numbers and all of that kind of stuff. and you can just kind of roll all of that around in your head and say, oh. But it's a thing of supply and demand. A lot of people just aren't for spirituality. They're looking for something spiritual, a spiritual experience. And so this is why people are tapping into all of these other different types of religions and things of that nature. Once upon a time, you can go to church and you can feel something, you can get something. But people are starting to have a different experience now where they're not getting anything. They're just being entertained. Whatever they want to do, live however they want to live. And so those who still remain in the church buildings, they're content with that formula. They're like, okay, I can do whatever I want in this church. This is a have it your way religion, right?
So anyway, it said the reason I was playing this was that it's a major fall off of churches being built and even churches being established. It's a great falling away from that. So many people are waking up to that, to the scam, what's going on with that. They're not buying it. Anybody got any comments on that?
I do, Mr. Leonard, because
Okay.
they said that it's gonna be how would I say that? They gotta understand that the last shall be first, and the last shall be. The last shall be the head shall be the tail shall be the head. We understand that, but it's gonna be that great falling away. It's over with their times. That's what they hungry for. It's over for them, and they fighting to redeem those times. It's over.
Right. Yeah, he said the truth gonna rise. Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what he said. It's over.
You get something? That's something. Yeah. So with that being said, I'm gonna play this. I thought it was pretty interesting. It's some need to know information.
Breaking news. All right, y'all. Y'all know what time it is. I got some tea for y'all, and it's scalding hot. Okay, let's get to it. So, starting off, coming in hot, Turkish President Erdogan will be visiting Rafah, the border, during his trip to Egypt. Okay, but that's just stick that in the back of your brain. We'll circle back. It'll make sense in just a little bit. Okay. Now, that was just a teaser. This is the real key, okay? Because I know y'all loves the tease, okay? Didn't I tell y'all niggas? What did I tell y'all niggas, okay? Didn't I tell y'all World War III has begun? There is no longer a declaration of war. I've been told y'all that. We are the last ones to find out what the fuck is going on. It just so happens that this generation is nosy as hell. And we're going to go digging for the information that we know for a fact our government is keeping from us. Whether we got to get a VPN and get the information, baby, we going to get it. And we're going to spread it far and motherfucking wide, okay? Any way we can. We went to our own app and said, guess what's going on over there? I told y'all, we were already in World War III. This is World War III. We've been living in World War III since October the 7th. Anytime all these countries are involved in all this stuff, and they're the major countries too, it's a world war. It's considered a world war. That's just what it is. Everybody got their guns out, ready to pop something, ready to peel some cat back blue, okay? Now you got China and Russia threatening to go pop the trunk on people. This is a world war. Do you understand what I'm saying? They've been threatening to pop the trunk on Biden, okay? And things are getting much, much worse. I know I'm a little up close and personal, but there's some things I got to cover up just because of the clock app, okay? The U.S. has declared that it's facing a national security threat. CNN reports that Russia has established a highly worrying capability, okay? What capability is that? Hold on, I got it for you. I'm going to post it on Instagram too because I know the U.S. is going to try to stifle this information, but Russia done found a way to take out all the satellites.
Hey,
Yes,
Mr. Leonard,
yes, they have. And I know y'all.
Okay.
I would like to say something. How does she know this war is coming when there's warriors? That's my question. I get it, but we already know war coming. We already know this.
Okay.
You know, how could somebody say this type of stuff? To be honest with you,
Okay.
you know what I'm saying? For where the watchmen and the warriors is already out here. How you calling the war when we already preparing for it?
Ain't that something?
Hey, I'm just asking.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump on that. Let me finish this. Yeah, I jump on it.
Yes, sir.
Y'all looking at me like, why is she happy? In all fairness, bitch, I'm a black woman. I've been waiting on this day. I've been waiting for America to get knocked off their throne because the way that they doing us dirty, oh yeah, you got that right on the side. It don't matter who is on that other side. It don't matter who is going up against America. I'm rooting for them. Do you understand what I'm saying? We still haven't gotten them reparations, and they had no intentions on giving us them reparations. The day after the U.S. decided to send a $95 billion bill, Russia comes out and tells them that not only have they found a cure for cancer, and not only have they found a vaccine for cancer to prevent cancer, but they've also found a way to neutralize nuclear weapons, in addition to neutralizing the satellites. Y'all see what's I know y'all been hearing that voice in y'all head saying, maybe you should go take a trip. You better go ahead and pack your shit. What did I say? Russia can allegedly disable U.S. satellites. Russia has allegedly developed the ability to neutralize U.S. space satellites. Now, for those of you who don't know, approximately everything in this country runs off of satellite signal, including your internet. Huh? It's based on kinetic anti-satellite weapons for some time. The U.S. Department of Defense warned in 2023 that Russia had been testing space-based kinetic anti-satellite weapons for some time. So the U.S. has known for a while that they have this capability and chose not to tell us. Yeah. And remember yesterday when I said that America shook? And didn't I tell y'all niggas? The Biden administration is cooking up something big. House Intelligence Chairman Mike Turner says all members of Congress have access to information on a serious national security threat. And what national security threat? Basically declassify all information relating to this threat so that Congress, the administration, and our allies can openly discuss the actions necessary to respond to the threat. Oh, so now you want to loop everybody in. Now because you're scared, you're about to get your ass handed to you. They got that supersonic fuel, them crazy ass jets North Korea done created, and they found a way to disable all of the satellites, rendering everything in this country null and void. Now you want to include us? You're about to get your ass handed to you. Why am I hype about the situation? Baby, I'm black, and they made it perfectly clear that they have no intentions of coming after the black folks. In fact, they want to get us out of here before anything jumps off. Don't believe me? Pay close attention to their ties with Africa and South Africa. And on top of that, they did tell us, Nigeria, to go ahead and start packing your shit and get ready because they will be sending a boat around for us. They have no intentions on coming after us. Ha ha! That's what y'all get. Now, this was reported as of 11:48 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, okay? Putin is close to creating the cancer vaccines. Now, why would they need cancer vaccines? All of a sudden. I mean, thank you, but all of a sudden. And for those of y'all who didn't know, America crossed the motherfucking line when they killed them billionaires that came over here. The Nigerian billionaires that spoke of liberation, that spoke of freedom, that came over here to speak to a bunch of the Black people here and teach us how to, monetarily come up out of restriction and chains. Basically, what the U.S. got us in, because they literally starving this whole country broke. But in Nigeria, them Nigerians, they wasn't coming over here for the white folk. They was definitely coming over here for the Black folk. And it turns out the reason why is Nigeria is going to be selling their oil in local currency, and they have ties to none other than Big Putin himself, officially abandoning the U.S. dollar. Now, once Nigeria does this, guess how many other countries is also going to be doing this? So that's why the U.S. killed that billionaire and the remaining billionaires that was also in that helicopter on the night of the Super Bowl. The same way they killed them Russian Bitcoin people. Now, this is speculation, but baby, when it walks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, and you the only one that was in the vicinity around the time of their deaths.
Okay. So, yeah, so I mean, I don't know where she's getting the information from, but I mean, like she said, she's speculating, but a lot of the dots being connected, listening to it. For example, I was saying that I've been saying it forever and a day. When you look at scripture, us as a people, we went into the Babylonian captivity by the Chaldeans, but the Medes and Persians delivered us. It wasn't the same people that brought us into captivity. It wasn't the ones that brought us out. It was like I said, we went into Chaldeans, took us into captivity. 70 years later, Medes and Persians delivered us. So when you go and you look at scripture and he tell us that we not he changed not. So like I said, the Americans, Esau, the Americans, Europeans, the ones came to the west coast of Africa and fulfilled prophecy, brought us over in ships. But like I said, it's the Chinese and the Russians that's gonna deliver us. So that's what we do. That's what resonating with me when she was saying that. And we looking at all that. Russia and China pretty much took over Africa, and they working with the Africans in the Israelites. So they ain't trying to do nothing to us. And then, like I said before, when you look at the makeup of everything, they need us according to the plan the Rolling Belt Initiative that they have in order to make it fully functional. They need us over in Africa. Just like the Egyptians needed us and the Babylonians needed us to build up their empires, and the Americans needed us to build up their empire. So in order for them to make what they got going work, they need us over there. So then what she said pertaining to that made sense. I mean, how she getting the information, like she said, she digging around on, she got some kind of contact with somebody, I don't know, but that made a lot of sense to me. And then the satellites. I mean, we can see something getting ready to happen. And like I said, that makes a whole lot of sense when you say that these Russians have figured out how to neutralize the satellites. In America, that's how America operates, off the satellites. Their infrastructure already shot. So neutralize those satellites, that's it. Okay. And that I thought that was pretty interesting too about the Nigerians that got killed during the Super Bowl. I didn't know that they was coming over here, informing us on how to build mega companies and giving us the opportunities for resources to do it. So all of a sudden, out of the blue, they come up dead. Plane crash. Any comments on that?
It was a guy. He was a banker, right? He was
Yeah.
a banker. Had all this money,
Right.
Yeah, and they killed a bunch of them too. And the
Exactly.
thing that I would say is, I understand what she was saying, but we
Right.
got to understand who's going to be the ones that's coming through there. You know, we
Right.
as men will be coming through there and doing what the Most High said we supposed to do.
Right.
And there's, like we said, it's a hierarchy, because I can't send a bunch of other people in there to do what's supposed to be done unless I'm doing it.
Exactly.
So I get what she's saying, and I understand that without saying certain things. Yeah, righteousness. Yeah. And they did kill that. He was a big banker, billionaire, and out of a blue, he went going to the Super Bowl or in
Right.
America, and his
Ain't that
plane
something?
went down. Oh, of course, they shot him down. I think so.
Oh yeah, yeah, it's something going on. He was a motivational speaker too. He was uh coming to inform a lot of Americans uh on the resources and ways and how to increase their finances, and especially in big business.
And at the same time, they can't get the one that's in Africa. They can't get him, so they're gonna get anything close to him, or they're
Right.
trying to shut it all down because we already know what they're talking about in Africa, and
Exactly.
they want this man dead. So anything they got to do with him, is just sending a warning to him to shut
Yeah,
up.
right. They do the same thing here with the boule.
Yes, sir. If you
Put a
don't
whole
rock, yes, sir.
yeah, they put a bind up. All of a sudden they'll bind up one celebrity or actor or whatever, and then when he get bound up, they know why he bound up and why they got him in a pickle. Then they get to backing up and walking on their toes because they know who's behind it. So that's an old trick. They go way back.
Exactly. They sent that message to Kanye West and
Right.
everybody else. Yes, sir.
Exactly. That's something. Oh yeah, but like I was saying, that was pretty interesting how what she was saying about the Russia and China was telling them to pack their bags because they're gonna get us up out of here. And that's exactly what I've been saying. But when you look at it, these people, they not already showed you they ain't gonna do shit. I mean, it's gonna have to be a serious beatdown for them to do. And then you still can't really see them doing it. It would have to
And,
be
and
somebody else that's gonna stand to make gain uh, some major wealth from us going over there. So and it's only makes sense that it's Russia and China.
yeah, and the King Alfred plan. Our
Oh yeah,
own government not gonna go against us, their own military. So they bringing in these military youths that look like you saying, going across the borders in order
right,
to gather us up and gather people up in these camps. They gotta have outsiders that do it. And America, people don't understand that America's been bought and paid for. That's why they're letting them through the borders, because this is
exactly,
not our country anymore. China runs New York. Other countries run different parts of our land. This is not
right,
our land. It's a corporation. So they can let whoever they want. That's why you can't stop them from coming in, because they've been bought and paid for.
exactly. If they don't know, right? They like I said before, they lit up the Empire State Building a couple of years back with Chinese flag with the Chinese colors. So what kind of that tell you right there? I mean, if you ain't get the message in, I don't know what to say.
Yes, sir.
Is
It's
there
not
something?
our land. It's a corporation. We done put money, people done bought into it. China owns half of it. Uh, Korea, all these other countries own this land. We think that we in here and doing what we doing. They own this land. That's why they're allowed to keep them borders open because they own it.
Right. Somebody a higher power telling them what to do.
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah, I was listening to a video earlier where this lady said that she was from Jamaica, but now she's living in America. And some of her kin folks or friends that went back to Jamaica, and she was telling them about certain fruits to bring back the seeds, certain fruits to bring back with seeds in them, so she can use the seeds. And she said that they restricted them they restricted them from coming in, bringing fruit into the country that had seeds in them.
It happened to me. I went to Jamaica and I came back. I wanted to bring all these fruits back and they wouldn't let me do it.
Well,
because it was the seed. It wasn't the fruit. It was the seed because I can plant it.
Exactly. So like I was looking at that, who stands to gain by having all these seedless fruit? Who producing it? And there it is, China, Russia, and all them. They're the ones behind the man that's behind the man.
Yes, sir. And they bringing them in.
Right.
Asian men coming through here across the border. We watching it.
Exactly.
They're all coming through. And these is people. The reason why we can't close the border is because it's not our border. This is what people don't understand. We living in their house. They bought this house.
Exactly.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. So with that being said, I'm gonna read a couple chapters out of Zechariah, and then we'll close out. I'm gonna have to figure out what it is that's going on with my this mute. Well, people not being muted. Okay. We'll go to Zechariah. We'll read some of it today, and then we'll read some next week. I'm in Zechariah chapter 1. Okay. So it says, in the 8th month, in the 2nd year, Darius came the word of the Lord unto Zechariah, the son of Barchiah, the son of Iddo the prophet, saying, the Lord hath been sore displeased with your fathers. Therefore said thou unto them, thus saith the Lord of hosts, turn ye unto me, saith the Lord of hosts, and I will turn unto you, saith the Lord of hosts. So notice, like I've been saying, you have to understand who the Lord of hosts is talking to when you're reading the scriptures based on what they've done to our scriptures and hook. But it says the Lord, verse 2, chapter 2, chapter 1, verse 2. The Lord have been sore displeased with your fathers. There ain't none of us. So we see right here, he talking to our fathers. 3, therefore say thou unto them, thus saith the Lord of hosts, turn ye unto me, saith the Lord of hosts, and I will turn unto you, saith the Lord of hosts. So right there, we see who he talking to, right? So how can you leave here and try to tie this to JC? Our fathers don't know JC. Nothing about him, that concept don't even exist. None of that. So when you see that, you see who he talking to. This has nothing to do with, you can't go to the New Testament. You can't associate this with the New Testament. He not even talking to us. He's talking to our fathers.
No. And just like Deuteronomy, you're going to go in the land where your forefathers knew not, and there you shall worship wood and stone.
Right. Other gods, not him.
Other gods. Yes, sir. There we go.
Right. And so that's another way you can see that people it's just flat out been brainwashed, because once you look at this and see this, you can see that it don't add up. You can't go over there trying to tie this in to Zechariah, to nothing in Zechariah. You can't go and try to tie it to JC. So it says, be not as your fathers, unto whom the former prophets have cried, saying, Thus saith the Lord of hosts, turn ye now from your evil ways and from your evil doings. But they did not hear, nor hearken unto me, saith the Lord. Your fathers, where are they? And the prophets, do they live forever? But my word and my statutes, which I command my servants, prophets, did they not take hold of your fathers? And they returned and said, like as the Lord of hosts thought to do unto us, according to our ways and according to our doings, so have he dealt with us. So we can say this, we can look at the same thing. We part of that, we part of what happened. Because we over here in captivity too. According to our ways, is the reason why we over here. This is the reason he dealt with us the way that we did, because of our ways. So 7 says, upon the 4th and the 20th day of the 11th month, which is the month of Shebet, in the 2nd year of Darius, came the word of the Lord unto Zechariah, the son of Borkiah, the son of Iddu, the prophet, saying, I saw by night, and behold, a man riding upon a red horse. So all this coming out of, just as well, all this stuff in Revelation is coming from right here. I saw by night, and behold, a man coming riding upon a red horse. He stood among the myrtle trees, and there in the bottom and behind him were their red horses, speckled and white. Then said I, O my Lord, what are these? And the angels that talked with me said unto me, I will show thee what these be. And the man that stood among the myrtle trees answered and said, These are they whom the Lord hath sent to walk to and fro in the whole earth. So we notice that these same 4 horses is in Revelations. But these horses right here, he's talking about when the Israelites leave Babylon. Like I said, you can't apply none of this to today because it already happened. So he says, 9. Then said I, my Lord, what are these? And the angel that talked with me said unto me, I will show thee what they be. And the man that stood among the myrtle trees answered and said, These are they whom I have sent to walk to and fro through the earth. And they answered, the angel of the Lord that stood among the myrtle trees and said, we have walked. Here you go. We have walked. They already did this. We have walked to and fro through the earth, and behold, all the earth sitteth still, and it is at rest. Then the angel of the Lord answered and said, O Lord of hosts, how long wilt thou not have mercy on Jerusalem and on the cities of Jerusalem, against which thou hast this indignation these 70 years? They go to 70 years that Jeremiah prophesied about. It's at the end. So this ain't got nothing to do with nothing in the future. These 70 years, 70 years. And so let's look at that.
But they try to say that it's a woman sitting on a scarlet, a red beast, right? Is it the same as that red horse?
Right. So you go to Jeremiah, Daniel. Jeremiah prophesied about the 70 years, 70 and 7. Then Daniel came and tell you chapter 9. Daniel said right here. He says, in the first year of Darius. So remember, Cyrus came before Darius. So in the first year of Darius, the son of Ahaz, the son of the seeds of Medes and Persia, like I was saying, this who delivered us. Not the Chaldeans took us in captivity, but the Medes and Persians delivered us, which was made king over the realm of the Chaldeans. In the first year of his reign, I, Daniel, understood by books the number of years wherefore the word of the Lord came unto Jeremiah the prophet, that he would accomplish 70 years. There it is. 10 years. 70 years in desolation of Jerusalem. Then we read over here Zechariah. Just line everything up, the timeline. Like I say, you can't go nowhere in the New Testament. It has nothing to do with this. So then you go back over here where I was at in chapter Zechariah 1 and 12. Then the angel of the Lord, who you gonna believe? The prophets, the apostles, and Peter and Paul and them, or the angel? Says, then the angel of the Lord answered and said, O Lord of hosts, how long will thou have mercy on Jerusalem and on the cities of Judah, against which thou hast had indignation these 10 years? Line up, just like a storybook. It says in 13, and the Lord answered the angel that talked with me with good words and comfortable words. So the angel that communed with me said unto me, cry thou, saying, the Lord of hosts, for the Lord of hosts, I am jealous for Jerusalem and for Zion with a great jealousy. And I am very sore displeased with the heathen that are at ease, for I was but a little displeased, and they helped forward the affliction. So he only was going to chastise us to a certain extent. But these people, because of who they are, they so wicked as hell, they came and brought more drama, just like they did with us. He wanted them to come get us and bring us over here, but not all the shit they done to us since we've been here. They overdid it.
Yeah. And JC has never been called the Lord of hosts.
Exactly.
Yes, sir.
Right. Two different characters. Okay. Therefore, thus says the Lord, I am returned to Jerusalem with mercy. My house shall be built in it, says the Lord of hosts, and a line shall be stretched forth upon Jerusalem. Cry yet, saying, thus says the Lord of hosts, my cities through prosperity shall be spread abroad, and the Lord shall yet comfort Zion, and shall yet choose Jerusalem. Then lifted up mine eyes, and I saw, and behold, here you go, 4 horses, 4 horns. And I said unto the angel that talked with me, what be these? And he answered me, these are the horns which have scattered Judah and Israel and Jerusalem. And the Lord showed me 4 carpenters. Then said I, what come these to do? And he spake, saying, these are the horns which have scattered Judah, so that no man did lift up his head. But these are come to fray them, to cast out the horns of the Gentiles, which lifted up their horns over the land of Judah, to scatter it. So we see right here that 70 years is up. So just like he got to do now, just like he did with Egypt, he got to subdue all the nations that's around in order to bring Israel back. So what they did with the New Testament is making you think that this event right here only happens one time and it's in the future, it's going to happen. But right here, he's got to subdue all the nations that gather themselves, that got Israelites in their land and dealing with them and oppressing them. Same way now. We got to do the same thing again. We read that last night in Zechariah and Haggai, chapter 2, when he says he's going to subdue all the kingdoms of the earth in order to put the Israelites back in their place, back in their homeland. You got to subdue everything around there in order to do it. So it's not no one-time event. He did this over and over again.
Yeah. And JC, what JC did was says, I'm not doing this over and over again.
Right.
Accordingly, I'm just going to take it all on the cross with me.
You shut it down, man.
Yeah. I'm done.
Right. Right. Yeah. So I'm in chapter 2. I'll read this chapter and we'll close out. So it says, I lifted up mine eyes again, and I looked, and behold, a man with a measuring line in his hand. So I want to shine light on this. So we just read over here in chapter 1 that he said a man was going to come and he's going to measure Jerusalem. There you go. 16. Therefore, thus said the Lord, I have returned to Jerusalem. So this after the 7 years, he returned to Jerusalem with mercies. In my house, the temple, shall be built in it, says the Lord of hosts, and a line shall be stretched forth upon Jerusalem. So keep that in mind. Now we over here in chapter 2. I lifted up this Zechariah. It's in a vision. I lifted up mine eyes again, and I looked, and behold, a man with a measuring line in his hand. So what he measuring? It's temple. This ain't no temple in the future, what we get waiting to come be built. This is when they left Jerusalem. This is Zerubbabel temple. So he says, with a measuring line in his hand. Then I said, whether goest thou? And he said unto me, to measure Jerusalem. Right? That's what Daniel 9:25 tell you. Jerusalem shall be built again, and the streets shall be built again, the wall, and people gonna be in the streets, living in the streets. We see it all right here. He said unto me to measure Jerusalem, to see what is the breadth thereof and what the length thereof. And behold, the angel that talked with me went forth, and another angel went out to meet him and said unto him, run, speak to this young man, saying, Jerusalem shall be inhabited. This is what Daniel's saying. Jerusalem shall be inhabited as towns without walls, for a multitude of men and cattle therein. For I, said the Lord, will be under her a wall of fire round about, and will be the glory of the midst in the midst of her. Ho, ho, come forth, flee from the land of the north. I want you to think that's America, but this Babylon. Flee from the land of the north, says the Lord, for I have spread you abroad as the four winds of heaven, says the Lord. Just like now, this ain't nothing new. We spread the four winds just like we spread the four winds now. And that's why in Ezekiel, he says, come, O breath from the four winds, and breathe upon these flames. And right here, he used the four winds to scatter us, but now he's using in Ezekiel the four winds to bring us back together. So he says, 7, deliver thyself, O Zion, that dwelleth in the daughter of Babylon. So who's the daughter of Babylon? The Medes and Persians. The daughter of Babylon. Daniel told him when he described the 4 kingdoms there, he's told him thou, O King Nebuchadnezzar, is the head, the greatest. And then the Medes and Persians, the Babylonians and the Romans came after them. But the golden head, the architect of all of it was Nebuchadnezzar. So anyway, he says, for thus says the Lord of hosts, after the glory have he sent me unto to the nations, which spoiled you. For he that touches you touches the apple of his eye. For behold, I will shake my hand upon the same thing we read in Malachi and Haggai yesterday. I will shake my hand upon them, and they shall be a spoil to their servants. And ye shall know that the Lord of hosts have sent me. And we see the same thing getting ready to happen. The same people that you subjugated, you're going to end up being subjugated by them. He's saying the same thing right here. For behold, I will shake my hand upon them, the wicked, people that got us oppressed, and they shall be a spoil to their servants. Same thing. 10, sing and rejoice, O daughter of Zion, for lo, I come, and I will dwell in the midst of thee, says the Lord of hosts. So it's not Jesus that's coming, the Lord of hosts. And many nations shall be joined to the Lord in that day, and shall be my people, and I will dwell in the midst of thee, and thou shalt know that the Lord of hosts has sent me unto thee. And the Lord shall inherit Judah, his portion in the Holy Land, and shall choose Jerusalem again. Be silent, all flesh before the Lord, for he is raised up out of his holy habitation. So we see right here, like I said before, when this is read properly and rightly divided, you can see that it has nothing to do with nothing in the New Testament. So I had mentioned the line being measured in the temple, right? They want to tie all this and say that the Antichrist coming, the temple going to be built, and the Antichrist coming. So we see right here, Zechariah is talking about the temple that Zerubbabel built. So let's go to Ezekiel. Remember, I said Ezekiel is in the captivity, and he's in Babylon just like Daniel is. So he's not prophesying and skipping over the Zerubbabel temple all the way to some temple in the end of the world. No. Zechariah, Jeremiah, Daniel, all of them talking about the temple, the Zerubbabel temple. So let's look at it. We're in Ezekiel. Okay. Then we'll close out. So it says, Ezekiel chapter 40. Look at what it's saying. Like I said, notice these books all out of whack too. But Ezekiel's in the captivity in Babylon, just like Daniel and all of them. So he says, in the 5th and 20th year, it's 40, Ezekiel 41. In the 5th and 20th year of the captivity, he in captivity in Babylon. He ain't in captivity with us, and he damn sure wasn't in Egypt. So this is captivity in Babylon. In the 5th and 20th year of our captivity, in the beginning of the year, in the 5th day of the month, in the 14th year after that, the city was smitten. On the self-same day, the hand of the Lord was upon me and brought me thither. In a vision of God, brought he me into the land of Israel. They in captivity in Babylon. And Jerusalem is pretty much laying desolate. It's got people there, but it's been tore up by the Chaldeans. He says, and set me upon a very high mountain, by which was the frame of a city on the south. And he brought me thither, and behold, here you go. Same thing Zechariah said. There was a man whose appearance was like the appearance of brass, with a line of a flex in his hand. And he measured the reed, and he stood in the gate. And the man said unto me, Son of man, behold, with thine eyes, said, behold, with thine eyes, and see with thine eyes. Let me see what this says. It says, and the man said unto me, Son of man, behold, with thine eyes, and hear with thine ears, and set thy heart upon all that I shall show thee, for to the intent that I may show them to thee, or thou brought hither. Declare all that thou seest to the house of Israel, to our forefathers. Same got nothing to do with us. And behold, a wall. It's the wall Daniel talking about. A wall on the outside of the house round about, and in the man's hand a measuring reed of 6 cubits long by 6 cubits and a hand breadth. So he measured the breadth of the building, 1 reed, and the height 1 reed. So if you had any kind of dealing with the church, you know that when they bring Revelations up, they run back here to Ezekiel 40, saying that this is the temple that's going to be built. They waiting on the Antichrist is going to come in. And this temple don't have nothing to do with us. All this thing already happened. Daniel, Ezekiel looking at this, and then it happened when Zerubbabel and Joshua went back and rebuilt the temple. Ezekiel in captivity in Babylon, and he's being shown the temple that's going to be built when they leave there and go back. Saying how nothing to do with no temple in the New Testament whatsoever.
They don't want you to understand that. They want you to think an Antichrist is coming. They want you to think about all these other things. We already know Zerubbabel. They got JC off of that. They building their lives in their foundations.
Exactly.
They don't want us to get right.
Exactly. Is that something?
Yes, sir.
Anybody else? You got any other comments before we go? Anything you want to shine a light on?
No, sir, brother.
Okay, you good?
I'm good.
Okay, yeah. So with that being said, I'm gonna say shalom to everybody, and we'll be back tomorrow for the Women's Advanced Bible Study. And like I said, hopefully I have this situation figured it out. What's going on with this new brother? Shalom. Shalom and no shalom.